Good afternoon and welcome back for day 2 of the Economic Ninja video challenge. I'm Scotty Bones and I'm going to pick up where I left off yesterday. But first I want to clarify that I'm personally not having some sort of great tribulation, that maybe I left this impression yesterday on the video with that crushing cosmic conundrum or whatever you want to call it. Actually, I'm doing pretty good. If it weren't for the fact that I am now seeking to somehow interface with the rest of you all, human population in internet land, I would be perfectly happy just whiling away my time, thinking, philosophizing, and doing my thing. The challenge I have comes from knowing in advance that if I'm going to provide anything meaningful to the conversation, that inevitably built into the system, baked into the whole thing, is the fact that first I have to have the thoughts, and then I have to translate them into symbols, which in this case are words and all sorts of devices and such to get my message to whoever's listening and watching to this. And then it has to be translated from those word symbols and pictorial symbols into somebody else's brain, and somehow try not to lose any of the meaning or intent from that transfer of information. And I just know it's not going to work. I mean, it'll work, but it's just like, there's trolls, there's people. Everybody comes into it with an attitude, with their day's troubles, with their life's troubles. Who knows, they may be high on drugs, they may be drunk, they may be depressed, they may be on a sugar rush, they may have just watched whatever political show they watch and been all fired up. So that's part of the troubles I've had in that context of the great cosmic challenge. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to read one more little thing from this Jesuit priest and geologist before I let that one rest for a bit. Here we go. Okay, so I have to look down because it's on my computer here. And it has to do with what I was talking about, the reconciliation of the spiritual and the material. And I just want to say right off the bat that I don't have the answer. I'm just posing questions. On the scientific plane, the quarrel between materialists and the upholders of a spiritual interpretation, between finalists and determinists, still endures. It seems to me that its prolongation depends less on the difficulty that the human mind finds in reconciling certain apparent contradictions in nature, such as mechanism and liberty, or death and immortality, as in the difficulty experienced by two schools of thought in finding common ground. Each only sees half the problem. I am convinced that the 2 points of view soon will unite in a kind of phenomenology or generalized physics, in which the internal aspect of things, as well as the external aspect of the world, will be taken into account. So chew on that, think about it. We've gone way, way, way off in the 20th century with the path of science from the 19th century through the 20th century, how the great foundations, the philanthropists, took science, molded it to their heart's desire, and took us very far away from the spiritual realm or the non-materialistic realm with the advent of their upward causal molecular biology and through their general education board funded by the Rockefellers and others who pushed human thought in a certain direction. So we're living the consequences of that, even though now it's like the fish is water in which we swim. We don't even know that there were choices before, and that the world in which we live, beyond the boundaries that we can even conceive, were created by other people, powerful people. So enough of that. Concerning the thumbnail on the video with the great volcano, which is called Popocatépetl, or Popo for short, just near Puebla, Mexico, outside of the town of Atlixco. It's not going to blow. It hasn't for 1,000 years or more. Well, you can never say never, but it's not scheduled to blow by the volcanologists. But the whole point is, as we enter the very last day of the pre-election season, I just want to tell everybody, don't blow your top. There is a very deep and well-funded machine beyond the beyond of what we think is happening that is just cheering on and hoping that we all go crazy from our sides, whatever side we are on, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, whichever side you're on, and you think the other side spells the doom of civilization and our society and our country, well, we are in grave danger, but either side that gets in, let me say, will be doing the bidding of the overlords. Don't want to go into it deep right now, because I don't really want to become a conspiracy guy, even though I go way back to the early days of Alex Jones, early internet days, Prison Planet days, so I've been reading and talking about this stuff for a long time, but of course back in the late 90s, it hit much differently than it does now. There are many, many, many pundits out there who are spinning the conspiracy thing on all the socials and making money off it, while I have chosen to lead a life of obscurity and relaxation. Anyway, just to give you a taste of what I've been reading, so that you know what sort of depth I'm coming from currently. This is just a current reading list. And where did I put it? There it is. Okay, clickety-click, let's go down, find it. All right, the project I'm working on right now, here are just a few of the sources. The Molecular Vision of Life, Caltech, the Rockefeller Foundation, and the Rise of the New Biology. The Circuit Riders, Rockefeller Money, and the Rise of Modern Science. Ivy Lee, the story of Ivy Lee and the development of public relations. Dumbing Us Down, the history of Standard Oil. Designing Freedom by Stafford Beer. Mental Health and World Citizenship, full document from 1948. The Search for Mental Health, a history and memoir of the World Federation on Mental Health. Resolving Social Conflicts, selected papers on group dynamics by Kurt Lewin. Changing Images of Man, Systems, Science, and World Order. The Rape of the Mind, the Psychology of Thought Control, Menticide, and Brainwashing. The Phenomenon of Man, which I spoke about already. Ecology and Revolution, Herbert Marcuse and the Challenge of a New World System. Unrestricted Warfare, China's Master Plan to Destroy America. The Flexner Report of 1910, a review by Lester S. King. Abraham Flexner, an autobiography. Medical Education in the United States and Canada, a report. That was the one that was known as the Flexner Report. A Modern School by Abraham Flexner. Change is Needed in American Secondary Education by Charles W. Eliot. I think he was the president of Princeton University, on the board of many, many foundations. The World Order, Our Secret Rulers by Eustace Mullins. Secrets of the Federal Reserve Bank by Eustace Mullins. The Rothschilds, The Financial Rulers of Nations by John Reeves from 1887. That was authorized by the Rothschilds. The Federal Reserve System, its origins and growth. Paul M. Warburg. He was the architect of the Federal Reserve System. Money Powers of Europe in the 19th and 20th centuries. Written in 1938. Islamic Banking and Interest. And those are just, I wouldn't say a few, but I think I don't have about half of the books I'm looking at the moment on my list. So, working on a writing project right now. Maybe I'll break it down and put it into videos and stuff, do some read-throughs or something. But anyway, don't blow your top. The best thing you can do is stay calm and learn how to extract yourself from the system of control that our overlords, who have names, but I won't name them now, their histories and their trajectories are very well documented. These are the ones whose systems we shall extricate ourselves from. I don't know what comes next, but many people are working on this problem, so it's a group effort. As the economic ninja says, and I don't even know his name. What's your name, bro? Anyway, that's it for today. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.